Hey guys, how y'all doing? Back at it with a good old-fashioned egg-sucking leech. I debated whether or not to do a video for this one. It's honestly not a fly that I fish that frequently anymore, unless the situation is perfect. But they're so stinking simple to tie, and they are good flies, so probably not a bad idea to at least go through one way to tie an egg-sucking leech. So this one, we're tying this one on this is a Mustad R75S streamer hook. It's a 2X long with a straight eye. I've already got about 8 or 9 wraps of lead-free wire. Give this fly just a little bit of weight. Build up a little thread base behind the wire. And then we'll take a handful of wraps. And the placement of the wire is, I guess, important on this one, just because you want to make sure you leave enough space in front of it so that you can build up the egg at the front when you wrap it with chenille. I don't know if this is it's a myth that leeches actually suck eggs. Never seen it, never heard of anybody seeing it, but I've heard of a ton of people catching fish on this fly, so it's worthwhile to tie them up. Tail on this one is just a marabou tail, just like a woolly booger. The fly itself is tied almost exactly like a woolly booger, so we're gonna bring that back, lay it down, and I'm gonna tie this back right behind where that lead wire is. And trim it off. And we'll get that tied down, get them tight. And a lot of times with these, I'll make a couple wraps just behind underneath the marabou, and that just kind of props the tail up a little bit. All right, body of the fly, we'll tie in the body. Actually, you know what, let's tie the rib in. The rib of this fly, because we are gonna palmer some hackle back in a second, I'm just gonna use black wire. I'm not too concerned about being able to see it. So the color doesn't really matter. And then we'll just take a piece of chenille. In this case, this leech is gonna be black, one of the most common colors. And when you tie the chenille down, you can take that and you can strip the fibers off of the end of this chenille, so you expose the core, you expose the string, and then that's the part that we want to actually tie down. That just keeps it from building up a kind of an extra bump at the back of the fly that you don't want. We'll take our thread just up to past the wire, and then we can wrap our chenille. Cut that off. All right, take a probably any color hackle, but we'll use a blackish hackle. And when I tie this thing in, I'm gonna trim back, show you here in just a sec. Trim back the tips so that you expose, you don't cut it all the way down to the stem, but you can see something for the thread to grab onto there. Leave just enough space up there to wrap in our head, our egg at the front. And we'll palmer this back. this without hackle pliers. And then we're gonna grab our wire and we're gonna reverse wrap. I have way too long of a piece of wire here. Reverse wrap the wire, and again, you can't even see that, so I don't even know if it matters how many times you wrap that. Couple wraps there to secure that down. You can helicopter it off, trim our hackle fiber at the back, and we're going to pull all these hackle fibers back and bring the thread back. Now we're going to tie in our little egg head, and this one is, I'll use kind of a chartreuse color or a bright green. Obviously there's lots of colors you can use for the head of this one. It's kind of the same thing as we did on the back. Expose the thread or the string, and then we'll wrap that back. There we go. Bring the thread to the front, and then just a couple wraps there at the front. There we go. Lift a little head there. Fly. All right, now we'll tie in our chenille for the egg at the front. And again, I'm just gonna expose just the tip, or expose the core of that thread. Again, we wanna pull these back because you need to leave enough space that you can still build up a bit of a head. So these guys are gonna, wrap right back against the hackle, and then a couple wraps forward. And tie that off. All right, now we're gonna push it back just a little bit. Handful of wraps in there, right behind the eye, and we can whip finish. There we go. All right, simple little egg sucking leech. Nothing fancy about it, but the little sucker will catch some fish. So there you go. Hope that helps, and thanks for watching.